For more than 40 years, the story of 50 Cent and his mother, Sabrina Jackson, has lingered in hip-hop like an open wound that never truly healed. Now that history is being dragged back into the spotlight after King Harris, the 21-year-old son of T and Tiny, posted a shocking video telling 50 Cent to dig up his late mother and show a photo of her grave. Since that moment, the internet hasn't calmed down for a second. But to understand why this situation feels so heavy, why it cuts deeper than a typical rap feud, you have to know the full story behind 50 Cent and the woman he lost. And to understand why King Harris said what he said, you have to rewind to where this conflict really began. The origin of this feud is surprisingly simple. It traces back to Versus. T revealed he lost respect for 50 Cent over what allegedly happened surrounding their long-discussed and highly anticipated Versus battle. In a clip from an upcoming episode of $1 Million Worth of Game, shared online by co-host Jilly the Kid, T.I. laid out his version of events regarding the battle that he says was supposed to happen. For those unfamiliar, Versus was a platform where two artists faced off by playing their greatest hits head-to-head. During and after the pandemic, it became a major cultural moment, drawing massive audiences eager to watch legends go track for track. According to T.I., he and 50 Cent had already agreed to participate. He explained that the goal was mutual celebration, a showcase of legacy, not rivalry. He insisted the conversation wasn't random or impulsive. He said they had already discussed it while working together and performing shows in Los Angeles. In other words, this wasn't a surprise proposal or public pressure tactic. T.I. claims the plan had been set privately long before it was mentioned publicly. According to Tip, both artists agreed he would bring the idea into the public conversation first, and then 50 Cent would follow up with a response. But when T.I. finally spoke about the Versus battle openly, he says Fif suddenly acted like he had no knowledge of the plan at all, a reaction that sparked the tension that would eventually spiral into something far more personal. Picture making a private agreement with someone. They encourage you to announce it publicly first, and the moment you do, they act like the conversation never happened. That, according to T, is exactly what went down, and it's why his frustration reached a boiling point. T didn't hold back when addressing 50 Cent after their rumored Versus showdown collapsed. He made it clear, he had no interest in sharing a stage and no respect left to offer. And when Tip says something like that, he means every word. But he didn't stop there. He escalated the situation even further with a public comment that sent shockwaves through fans and observers alike. He accused 50 Cent of damaging his name while hinting that only one of them had real paperwork to answer for. He insisted the truth was documented, available for anyone to see, and dismissed any defense before it could even be made. The message was direct, confrontational, and impossible to ignore. By doing that, T.I. crossed a serious line. He questioned 50 Cent's credibility, labeled him weak, and publicly suggested he was a rat, a claim that carries massive weight in hip-hop culture. Accusations like that are among the most serious attacks on reputation an artist can face, and T didn't whisper it behind closed doors. He wrote it openly, for everyone to read, turning a disagreement into a full-blown confrontation. From that moment, the tension only intensified. The conflict gained momentum after T.I. accused 50 Cent of avoiding the Versus battle they had discussed. Rather than confirm or deny it directly, 50 Cent responded in the way he's become known for, not with diss tracks or heated live streams, but with calculated trolling. Memes, jokes, and public mockery replaced direct confrontation. Anyone familiar with his history knows this is his signature strategy. He doesn't argue, he reframes the narrative and turns opponents into punchlines. And that's exactly what he did to T.I. But one particular post shifted everything. The conflict reignited when 50 Cent shared an image of Tiny Harris, T's wife, paired with a caption warning T.I. to keep his name out of his mouth. The post spread instantly, capturing widespread attention and igniting reactions across social media. It didn't take long for King Harris, T's son, to step in. That single image transformed the situation entirely. What had once been a typical rap dispute suddenly crossed into personal territory. Once family becomes part of the narrative, wives, mothers, legacies, the stakes change completely. And that was the moment King Harris entered the spotlight. In any clash between men, few things are considered more off-limits than dragging a partner into the conflict. But 50 Cent crossed that boundary, and the backlash came fast from King Harris, the 21-year-old son of T and Tiny. On Sunday, February 22nd, The rising rapper took to Instagram with a heated, profanity-filled response after the 50-year-old mogul posted an unflattering image of Tiny during his ongoing online feud with T. But King Harris isn't just a bystander inserting himself into drama. He is the eldest of the 3 children shared by T and Tiny, alongside his younger siblings Major Philant, 17, and Aries Diana Harris, 9. As their firstborn, he has lived much of his life in the public eye, growing up through the family's reality television presence while steadily building his own path in music. And over time, he has made one thing unmistakably clear: when it comes to protecting his family, he does not hesitate. So when 50 Cent posted that image of Tiny, King Harris responded immediately. The post carried a warning from 50 Cent telling T to keep his name out of his mouth. But under that same post, King Harris fired back, signaling he was ready for confrontation and directly bringing up 50 Cent's mother. That was the moment the situation shifted. The exchange moved from tension to direct personal attack in full public view. From there, King Harris took things even further, launching into a series of Instagram story posts aimed squarely at 50 Cent after the rapper mocked his mother online. In his response, King Harris invoked 50 Cent's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, during an extended video rant that pushed the conflict into deeply personal territory. Speaking from what appeared to be inside a car, he addressed the camera without restraint. Referencing Sabrina Jackson, who passed away in 1983, he challenged 50 Cent to show an image of her and insisted that Tiny should not have been brought into the dispute. He questioned the upbringing of those involved in the online attacks and repeatedly told 50 Cent to visit his mother's grave and show respect. The video was not brief or measured. It was prolonged, emotional, and relentless. King Harris continued speaking at length, intensifying the confrontation with each statement. He continued by saying people like that weren't raised the way he was, making it clear he would never allow anyone to disrespect his mother. King Harris didn't hold back, and then he said something that instantly ignited the internet. He repeatedly told 50 Cent to dig up his mother's body and show an image of her grave. He urged him to place flowers there, emphasizing that Tiny is a legend and pointing to her success with Xscape and her Grammy achievements. But the confrontation didn't end with words. King Harris moved to Instagram stories and posted an image of a headstone, asking if that was where 50 Cent's mother rested. He then shared another image showing the name Sabrina Jackson engraved on a grave marker, adding an aggressive message alongside it. This was not symbolic imagery. It was a real gravesite, a real headstone, the resting place of a real woman who had passed away. And it was displayed publicly for millions to see. On his account, King Harris also uploaded a photo of a gravesite bearing the names of 50 Cent's mother and grandmother, along with footage from a court appearance involving the rapper and an image showing one of 50 Cent's sons sitting with him. This wasn't just verbal provocation. King Harris located images connected to 50 Cent's family and presented them directly to the public. By doing so, he escalated the conflict to its most intense point yet. He didn't simply reference 50 Cent's mother, he showcased what appeared to be her actual burial site, pairing it with past legal footage and personal family images. For many observers, that moment marked a clear boundary being crossed. It was when viewers began to say the situation had gone too far. Yes, 50 Cent had ignited the tension by posting a photo of Tiny and mocking the situation. But the question spreading across the internet was unavoidable. Had King Harris taken things beyond the limits of acceptable retaliation? Because posting an unflattering image of someone who is alive is one thing, but invoking and disturbing the memory of someone's deceased mother is something entirely different. That difference is exactly what made this moment carry so much weight. To truly understand why King Harris's words struck such a deep nerve, you have to understand who Sabrina Jackson was, and what her loss meant to 50 Cent. This isn't a distant or symbolic reference to a parent who passed away. This is a real-life story marked by hardship, trauma, and lasting pain. Curtis Jackson, known to the world as 50 Cent, did not begin life with comfort or stability. Born on July 6, 1975, to his 15-year-old single mother Sabrina Jackson, he was raised in a drug-ridden section of Queens, New York. From the very beginning, his environment was defined by struggle. Survival was not optional, it was daily reality. To provide for her son, Sabrina Jackson sold drugs, a path she had been involved in long before he was born. Sabrina Jackson was still a teenager when she became a mother. At just 15 years old, she raised Curtis alone in South Jamaica, Queens, an area deeply affected by the crack epidemic at the time. The world around them was unforgiving, and she operated within it with determination and pride. She refused to depend on assistance or accept what she saw as limited opportunities. In an interview with Spin, 50 Cent explained that his mother never considered welfare or minimum wage work as viable options. She chose what she believed was the only way to secure a future for her child. That single decision reveals everything about her mindset. She did not seek charity, and she did not accept limitations placed in front of her. Instead, Sabrina Jackson built a reputation on Old South Road in South Jamaica, becoming deeply embedded in the street economy that surrounded her. She was not a peripheral figure, she was known, respected, and feared. At a time when very few women occupied that space, she commanded presence and influence. The people connected to her world displayed wealth, power, and status, and those were the first symbols of success 50 Cent ever witnessed. In an interview with The Guardian, 50 Cent reflected that the only individuals he saw with luxury, cars, and expensive jewelry were those associated with his mother's life, a reality that shaped his earliest understanding of survival and success. Luxury cars, gleaming jewelry, and the symbols of financial power. That was how 50 Cent first witnessed what success looked like through his mother's world. The lifestyle surrounding Sabrina Jackson became his earliest definition of wealth. For a boy growing up without a father figure, that environment became more than observation, it became a blueprint. It was the model that shaped his understanding of survival and ambition. Yet beyond that hardened exterior was another side of Sabrina Jackson that defined his childhood just as deeply. She was not only his provider, she was his entire foundation. 50 Cent once explained that she filled every role in his life, both mother and father, and her strength left little room for vulnerability. She was nurturing when necessary but unyielding when it came to discipline. She demanded toughness, teaching him to suppress emotion and endure hardship without complaint. Those lessons carved the emotional armor he would carry into adulthood. Then, in 1983, everything was shattered. The death of Sabrina Jackson was not peaceful, and it was not explained. Authorities suspected foul play, believing she had been drugged and left unconscious in her apartment before the space was deliberately set on fire. This was no accident and no natural tragedy. According to 50 Cent, someone tampered with her drink and released gas before leaving her to die. From that moment forward, he carried a thought that would echo through his life, that if his mother had survived, things might have unfolded differently. What happened was not just loss, it was violence without justice. His mother was taken from him, and the person responsible vanished without consequence. Despite the suspicious circumstances surrounding her death, no one was ever arrested. No charges were filed. The case remains unresolved to this day. For more than 4 decades, 50 Cent has lived with the reality that his mother's killer was never identified. He was only 8 years old when it happened, an age too young to understand permanence, yet old enough to feel the absence forever. That loss shaped him in ways he has openly acknowledged, defining not only his path but the way he learned to endure pain without ever fully confronting it. Over the years, 50 Cent has shared pieces of this story in interviews, building a public image of himself as untouchable, unshaken, and always in control, the ultimate troll who never shows vulnerability. But whenever his mother's memory comes into focus, that carefully crafted persona fractures. Speaking to The Big Issue, 50 Cent described it best: shock was the only way to explain how he felt when Sabrina Jackson died. He couldn't understand it. Having a single parent as your entire world changes everything. Imagine losing one of 2 parents, it's devastating. Now imagine losing the only one who protects, provides, teaches, and disciplines you. That was his reality. That one person was his everything, and when she was gone, he felt completely lost. Initially, 50 Cent couldn't process her death. He told Oprah Winfrey that he struggled to grasp what his grandmother meant when she said, "She's not coming back." For a long time, he insisted to himself that his mother was still around. Reminders that she was gone forever simply didn't register. He was only 8, far too young to understand the permanence of death. When his grandmother would repeat, "She's not coming back," he would insist, "Yes, she is." That is the reaction of a child in total shock, unable to comprehend a world without his mother. In an interview with Larry King, 50 Cent admitted, "I don't think I really dealt with it in the early stages. I lost my mom when I was 8, so I didn't really understand at that point." And here's the crucial detail: he never processed her death in a healthy way. No therapy, no guidance, no emotional outlet. He went to the streets. After Sabrina's passing, Curtis moved in with his grandparents, but the void left by his mother reshaped the course of his life. By the age of 12, he was already selling drugs, a path that mirrored the survival strategies he had observed growing up, all while his grandparents believed he was just attending after-school programs. The loss of Sabrina Jackson forever altered 50 Cent's trajectory, setting him on a path defined as much by survival as by ambition. He wasn't just a kid sneaking around after-school programs. By 12, 50 Cent was living the same dangerous life his mother once led. He was selling drugs, carrying firearms, and navigating the streets of Queens, all shaped by the void left by Sabrina Jackson's murder. Into that chaos stepped his grandmother, Beulah Jackson, who became his guardian and protector. In the VH1 documentary 50 Cent, The Origin of Me, 50 Cent revealed that his grandmother legally adopted him as a boy. She raised him as her own, and his gratitude toward her has never wavered. Even with her love, life was far from simple. 50 Cent recalled, "I came to live in my grandmother's house. Some of my mother's 8 siblings were still there. My Aunt Sylvie? She hated me being there. She had been the baby, and now suddenly it was me. My grandmother would pause for a moment, then say, 'Come on here, baby.' Even in a place meant to feel safe, tension lingered. Resentment was real. There were those who didn't want him around. And the only person who made him feel truly wanted was Beulah Jackson. So when people bring up 50 Cent's mother, they're not just mentioning a name, they're evoking his entire childhood, the murder that shaped his life, and the single worst event he's ever experienced. 50 Cent has been candid about carrying that burden to this day. He even channeled elements of his past into the show Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. Reflecting on his mother while discussing his character, he said, "There's a point where you were afraid of a lot of things, got bumped around a lot in the park. But I was more afraid of my mom than the people I got bumped by because I could not escape her. Being a single mom at that time, she was everything. She was everything." That's the phrase 50 Cent always uses, everything. She was everything, and someone took her from 50 Cent when he was just 8 years old. Her killer was never caught. Now, consider what King Harris did. He told 50 Cent to dig up his deceased mother. He shared a photo of her tombstone. He told him to go place flowers on her grave. This wasn't just a diss, it struck at the deepest, rawest nerve of 50 Cent. Anyone who knows his story understands the weight of that. The internet understood it too. Clips resurfaced of 50 Cent breaking down in interviews, recounting his mother's death. Videos of him speaking to Oprah about not comprehending death as a child, and to Larry King about never fully processing his grief, began circulating again. Viewers were seeing these moments side by side with King Harris's explosive rant. So, how did 50 Cent, hip-hop's ultimate troll, respond to a 21-year-old daring to speak about his late mother? On Sunday, February 22nd, he posted an image of Pepe the Frog to his always active Instagram. The G-Unit mogul didn't directly name anyone, yet fans immediately recognized the target. He followed that up with another post of the frog, captioned simply, "Oh. That was it. No rant, no video, no drawn-out social media back and forth, just a 3-letter meme." For many, that understated reaction was more powerful than anything King Harris had said. 50 Cent refused to give him the satisfaction of seeing any reaction. But did it hit him? That remains the question. 50 Cent has openly shared his emotions about his mother. He has cried in interviews, struggled to speak on Oprah, and admitted to Larry King that he never properly processed her death. And now, a 21-year-old was daring him to relive that trauma publicly. He told him to dig her up, and 50 Cent leaned into the audacious post with a photo of Pepe the Frog captioned simply, "Huh." Fans immediately noticed the subtle jab. The frog mirrored King Harris perfectly. But 50 Cent didn't stop there. He followed up with another frog-faced photo on Instagram, again captioned "Oh." He also shared a clip of 2 streamers roasting Tiny Harris's looks. He doubled down, using humor and memes to deflect the attack. The frog meme drew a direct comparison to King, and he posted another video of podcasters mocking both Tiny and King, with the infamous Many Men Menace segment showing 2 commentators comparing Tiny's appearance to King, highlighting the resemblance. "If my wife looked like that, may God bless America," one host quipped. Another added, "I don't know if that's a wrestler," referencing WWE legend Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Meanwhile, T.I. escalated the feud in the studio. TMZ got an exclusive first listen to T's diss track, where he called 50 Cent a snitch, labeled him a keyboard warrior tough online but weak in real life, and didn't hold back. T.I. even dropped a bombshell claiming he had legal paperwork from Ninui in prison implicating 50 Cent, striking directly at his gangster persona. The Harris family went all in. King Harris took the personal approach, T.I. dropped diss tracks, and 50 Cent responded with memes. Here's why this matters. 50 Cent lost his mother to murder at 8 years old. That loss shaped him profoundly. He has cried publicly about it, built TV shows reflecting that trauma, and yet, no matter how many memes he posts or beefs he starts, that wound remains unhealed. 50 Cent has said it himself. When King Harris told him to dig up Sabrina Jackson, he was striking at the one thing 50 cannot ever joke about. And just because 50 Cent responded with a simple "oh," doesn't mean it didn't cut deep. It shows that he did what his mother taught him. As a little boy on the floor of their Queen's apartment, she would tell him, "Get up. What are you crying for?" And so, 50 Cent got up. He posted the frog meme, typed "oh," and kept moving. But make no mistake, the internet won't forget this, and neither will 50 Cent. The back and forth between 50 Cent and T.I. has sparked an entirely new feud with T's son, King Harris, after the mogul shared a controversial photo of T's wife. King Harris's clash with 50 marks the second time the rapper has tangled with a fellow artist's child, following his 2026 spat with Diddy's son, Christian King Combs. 50 Cent has gone after multiple kids and families, and now the next generation is striking back with precision. This isn't just about versus anymore. This isn't only about Instagram trolling. This is about legacy, family, and the boundaries that should never be crossed. For now, the conflict exists in snippets, previews, posts, reactions. Like many long-running hip-hop rivalries, it's less about resolution and more about endurance. History, once made, rarely disappears. 50 Cent kicked things off by posting Tiny's photo. King Harris retaliated with the most personal strike he could imagine. Now both families are entrenched. T.I. is dropping diss tracks, King is sharing tombstone posts, and 50 Cent is replying with frog memes. But behind all the memes, rants, and music, there's a man who lost his mother at 8 years old and never got justice. That is the part of this saga that cuts deeper than any beef. That's the part people will remember long after the fights fade, because beefs end, diss tracks are forgotten, but loss like that lingers forever. Instagram posts may vanish, but the void left by a mother's death remains forever, and 50 Cent knows that truth better than anyone. That wraps up this story. If you found this breakdown insightful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you won't miss the next update.